Hey guys, today's lesson has no new information in it. So if you didn't have any trouble with yesterday's work, you can probably do today's work without any extra. You don't probably even need to see this video. If you do think you need a little bit more clarification, then here you go. I'm going to do 3 problems just like yesterday's. Nothing really new, maybe a tiny itty bitty little thing that you may not notice. That's all. So continuing with surface area. You may have seen kind of a shortcut to this by now, but basically you're finding the area of 3 surfaces, the 3 surfaces that you can see, but each of those surfaces has a match that you can't really see. So for the first one, I'm going to color code again. Okay, let's say I want to find the area of what I'll call this front piece. Okay, so I'm going to have 2 of those. So it's going to be 2 of whatever 2 numbers you have to multiply together to get the area of that front piece. Well, there's definitely an 8 right here, but the other length is this guy, and it's not given, or this guy also not given, but the 9 back here is going in the same direction. So it's 9. 8 by 9 is that front piece. So 8 times 9 is 72, and since we have a matching back that you can't see, it's 72 times 2, which is 144. Okay, now I'm going to do the left side, or whatever you want to call it, because it depends on your perspective of things, I guess. This left piece over here, and there's a matching right piece on the other side, like a cereal box. So that green side, find the 2 numbers you're multiplying together for that, but don't forget you have the side you can see and the other side. So there's always 2 of everything. You have this side on the left and there's a match on the right over here on this side. Okay, so what 2 numbers? That one's pretty clear. That one's going to be 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24, but you have a match on the other side, so 2 times 24, which is 48. Okay, the remaining side that I have is the top and matching bottom. And again, just like a cereal box, kind of looks like a cereal box, this one. So now I got to find this remaining piece here, the top, and there's a matching bottom. Okay, so we have 2 of them, one for the top, one for the bottom. And the 2 numbers are 9 times 3 for that one. 9 times 3 is 27. Multiply by 2 and you get 54. Now add those 3 numbers up. So I have 144 plus 48 and plus 54. And my total surface area is 246 square inches. Now I want you to think about what that means in the real world. Let's say this really is a cereal box. So a real world application of surface area might be, how much cardboard do I need in order to make that cereal box? That's surface area. Versus volume would be, how much cereal is inside of that box? That's the difference between surface area and volume. Okay, next example. Okay, so the next one is a triangular prism. Hopefully you can see you have a triangular top and a triangular bottom. So we have 2 triangles that are exactly the same size. You can either state that you have 2 of them or just double your first answer. So I definitely know I have 2 triangles. So that's going to be 2 times whatever the area of one triangle is. Okay, also for a triangle it's 1/2 base times height. All right, well what is the base and the height of this triangle? That's the tricky thing. The clue when you're looking for the base and the height is that right angle. The base and the height have to form a right angle. So for this triangle, the base and the height are also sides of the triangle. I'm going to use this length, which is the same as this, and is 3, and this length, which is the same as this, which is 4, which means this is also a right angle up here. So this triangle is 3 by 4 by 5, and so is its matching bottom. So the area of that triangle is going to be 1/2 of 3 times 4. Okay? So the part I have here in red is the area of one triangle. The 2 here means I'm going to account for the bottom and the top triangle, 2 triangles. So 3 times 4 is 12. Half of that is 6. but double it, we're back to 12 for that, for the two triangles. Okay, so that's two triangles. Now, for each side of that triangle, there's a rectangle attaching it to the other triangle. So there are 3 rectangles. And they would only be the same size rectangles if any of the sides of the triangle were the same. So these are all different. Okay? So what I say is find the one height that all of those rectangles are going to have, which is this 6. Every single rectangle has to have a 6. So we know that. Then you're going to have 6 by 5 for the front piece, 6 by 4 for the right piece, and 6 times 3 for the left piece. Each side of the triangle, 3, 4, and 5, is attached to a 6. So I'm going to have a 3, a 4, and a 5. Now let me color code it so you can visualize it a little bit better, just in case that wasn't good enough for you. So, each one of these rectangles, let's see. The 6 times 3. 6 times 3, that rectangle, is 6 by 3. So that's kind of this hidden left side right there. Okay, and yes, that's 18. All right, now the front side. Okay, the front piece. Oh, no, sorry, that's not the front piece. That's the 6 by 4. So that's the right side. Okay, 6 by 4, that's 6 by 4. That's kind of this hidden back right side is 6 times 4, or 24. And last, I have 6 by 5. And 6 by 5, that's this front piece right here, is 6 by 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So now add them all up. I have 12 plus 18 plus 24 and plus 30. So my total surface area is 84 square inches. The next problem, number 3, is really the same thing. So again, don't feel obligated to watch the whole thing. If you understand, you're doing great. Go ahead and move on, or fast forward through it if you'd like. So the next problem is just going to be another triangular prism. The thing is about this one is it's kind of sitting kind of cockeyed. It's a little bit skewed, so it's a little harder to visualize. So the key is find the matching bases, the thing that you have 2 of. And hopefully you can see that those are triangles. I have this triangle right here and its matching triangular base over here. Okay, so we have 2 triangles again. So we're going to have 2 of whatever the area of one of them is. Okay, so let's see if you can figure out what numbers to use for the area of the triangle. First of all, area of one triangle is 1/2 base times height. And to find the base and the height, remember, look for that right angle. The base and the height have to be perpendicular to each other, so they'll always be formed using that right angle. So whatever's forming the right angle, which is this, which is 8, by this, which is 6. So it's 1/2 of 8 times 6 to get the area of just one triangle. Hopefully you've seen by now that when you do 1/2 and double, these cancel each other out because you're multiplying by 2 and dividing by 2. So that's going to give us a total for both triangles of 6 times 8 or 48. Okay, now let's look at the rectangular sides that attach those 2 triangles. Okay, so we have 3 rectangles attaching the 2 triangles. All right, find the height of the prism. Find the length that's connecting the 2 triangles. The length that connects the 2 triangles is this 6. Every single one of these is going to use a 6. And now try to ignore that 6. Pretend it's not there anymore. Okay? So what are the other dimensions? Okay, we're going to use that 6 and multiply it by each side of the triangle. So we're going to have a 6 times 8 and a 6 times 6 and a 6 times 10. This 6 times 8, 6, 10. Let me say it one more time. This 6 times every side of the triangle. 8, 6, 10. 8, 6, and 10. Okay, now let me color code it and try to hopefully help you visualize it if that doesn't work for you. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do, what'd I just do? Come back. Come on back. Where'd it go? Pause. Well, I somehow managed to erase that just by hitting it with my hand, so I had to stop and pause and rewrite it all. So hopefully it looks exactly like it did a minute ago. I think I was at the spot where I was going to try to color code it so you can see what each of these rectangles actually look like. Okay, so this rectangle right here is 6 by 10. So that's this one, okay? And that would be an answer of 60. Okay, now let's look at where is the 6 times 8 rectangle. Let me switch colors. Okay, the 6 times 8 rectangle would be 8 by 6, so that's this guy back here. That's that rectangle. And that would be 48. And now let's see, the remaining rectangle would be 6 times 6, so that's this 6, which is the same as this 6 by this 6. So that's going to be this rectangle here, kind of the bottom of it. And that's 36. Hopefully you can visualize it. If you can't visualize it, then honestly, if you just rely on the fact that every single rectangle is going to have a 6 in it, because that's the height connecting them, and then these 3 numbers are the 3 sides of the triangle. For people who aren't visual, that works. All right, I got to add all that up. I have 2 48s and a 36 and a 60. Add all that up, and my final answer is 192 square inches. Okay, hope you guys are doing okay. Good luck.